Hey, it's Steve Richards, host of the Metal Queens podcast, and we've got our very first contest, and it's a good one and a big one. It's a chance for you to win a pair of 4-day passes to Louder Than Life, America's loudest rock and metal festival, Louisville, Kentucky, in September. You want to be part of this crowd behind me here? This is a shot from last year. All you have to do is comment and say, I want those Louder Than Life passes. Deadline for entries is August 10th. Thanks to the folks at Danny Wimmer Presents. Female-fronted bands appearing this year at Louder Than Life and performing: Evanescence, Spirit Box, Flyleaf, Kitty, Cami Kehoe, and more. It's an awesome festival. All you have to do is comment and say, I want those Louder Than Life passes, and you're qualified to win the pair of 4-day passes to Louder Than Life, Louisville, Kentucky, this September. Good luck. And here's more now on Louder Than Life.
Louder Than Life, America's loudest festival, returns to Louisville this September with Slayer, Deftones, Avenged Sevenfold, Bring Me the Horizon, plus Sleep Token, Suicide Boys, Bad Omens, Rob Zombie, A Perfect Circle, Marilyn Manson, Evanescence, Knocked Loose, 3 Days Grace, Lamb of God, and so many more. Louder Than Life. September 18th through 21st in Louisville, Kentucky. Passes are on sale now at louderthanlifefestival.com.
This is the Metal Queens podcast. I'm Steve Richards. On this episode of the Metal Queens podcast, Alise Elme from Rising Alma. They have released their sophomore album, Cracking the Moment. Rising Alma, the Berlin-based multinational alternative rock and metal group. This is their sophomore album. The album is out now. The first two singles, Games and Underestimate Me. Happy to have Alise join me here on the Metal Queens podcast. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Very happy to be here.
Alise in Berlin right now. So how did Rising Alma come together as a band?
So the short story is that me and Máximo, the guitar player, we met in 2021, and it was like the COVID was starting, and I recently moved to Berlin. I moved because I wanted to do something with rock music. I didn't know what, but I was very clear that I want to follow that kind of intuition and passion. And I was looking for musicians, and I met a few, but there was an instant connection when I met with Max. So we kind of started writing music immediately. He comes from Latin America, from Uruguay. And that's how also the name was born, Alma. It was Alise and Máximo, the name, the two first letters of both of our names put together, and it creates like a soul. When we were writing, we had one of the first songs, like Forgotten Soul. But long story short, I joined his band, and quickly we kind of realized we want to take it more serious and, like create our own project. And
What is the metal and rock scene like in Berlin? You said you wanted to move there and play rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, for me, actually, the decision was not based on my knowledge about how is it with the rock scene in Berlin, but I was moving from Riga. I come from Latvia, and I was in south of France at that time, just figuring things out and seeing where I go next. And then I went to a concert. So my favorite band played here in 2019. It's Payable on Death, POD. So I saw them, and I saw the community, and I saw how people are like interested in rock, and I was like, wow, because where I stayed, it was really not so. Like, you would not have rock gigs and stuff like this, and I was like, oh, right. And that's how I started to kind of learn about more like that. Yeah, there is a rock scene here, and people go to concerts. Yeah, so I decided to move not so long after the concert.
And you were living in the south of France, you said, at the time?
Yes, for 8 months. For 8 months, I lived there. Long story short, I was in a vacation, so I just kind of stayed and was like, okay, you know what? I know I have a feeling I just have to stay here and see where I go from there, and kind of leave my country. Yeah.
What's the story behind you getting into music growing up? Was music in your house, in your family?
No, actually, so I have three siblings. I'm the second oldest, and my brother had nothing to do with music. My family really nothing to do with music. So I was kind of the first one, and my story is simple. Since I was little, I was just singing in my room, and always like my mom just noticed that I'm always singing to my toys, and I was really like making music. I was writing songs for my mom sometimes or stuff like that, and she just was like, you know what, let's put you in the piano lessons in the kindergarten. So when the teacher told like, oh yeah, she should go to music school, like she was like, she should just do something with music because I was really into it. So yeah, since then I was in choir music, in classical music for many years, and then I was kind of confused. At teenage years, I felt like I don't want to go to academy. I don't want to pursue classical music anymore, but I also don't know exactly what I want to do. So it took me many years to really realize that it's the rock music.
Alise, you were just walking along the street in Berlin before we started recording here.
Yeah.
If you ran into someone on the street and they had never heard of Rising Alma before, how would you describe your sound to them?
Oh, um, I would probably start with that. People usually, when I meet people, they're usually like, "What are you? What kind of rock
Yeah.
band are you?" Or stuff like this. I would say like, "Well, we are definitely not easy to put in one box, and so I would say we're something between rock and metal, and also add that it's alternative, it's quite modern, but I really loved how one person described our music when we started a band. He said like, you have this dark, mysterious vibe, and I think I would mention that probably. I think that our music has this kind of mystery, this darkness, but at the same time there is some kind of hope in it. Yeah, but I would say it definitely has heavy riffs, melodical vocals. That I would think that would describe it in a musical way. Yeah, and probably dynamic. I would say that the songs are not really the same. So we have balladic songs, we have heavier songs, and I think there is definitely an emotional intensity.
This new album, Cracking the Moment, your sophomore album, what was the goal going into this album?
Yeah, I think the goal, because this is our second long play album. So the first one, Awake, we were like kind of like, let's show who we are. Let's just like show the people what is our sound, what we're going for, because we realized that we know who we are. And I think we were very kind of happy about it. And in this album, Cracking the Moment, we wanted to just go deeper, and we wanted to show the sides that we didn't show. And we wanted to just be more vulnerable with our music and more expressive in ways that we were not before. And I think it was just like diving deeper into who we are.
What's the songwriting process like? What was it like for this album? Did the lyrics come first or the music? And is it a true collaboration among the band?
Yeah, so me and Máximo, we write all the songs together. So we are the songwriters in the band. Um, the lyrics, I would say, like, I think the one thing that never comes really first is the lyrics. It's always the music, or yeah, it's always the music. And usually it starts with a guitar riff. The idea starts with a guitar riff, Máximo showing me some riffs, and sometimes it's just one little part. And I would immediately say, oh, if I connect to that riff, I would create melodies, and then it just would develop. We can take time to write a song. We sometimes really take a lot of time to write songs. We are not the fastest writers a lot of times, but there are a few songs that started also with piano idea, like me just playing on piano, and yeah. But it would be the music first, and then it would be like, for me, it's like the picture in my head. I would have these random ideas, the picture in my head. I know this what's this song about pretty quickly.
The first
So, yeah.
single, Games, what's the story behind that song?
Oh, I remember that this song, Maximo was, I think he showed me the riff, like this intro riff, dun, 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 this fast intro riff, and I was like, at some point, I really connect to it, and I was like, wow, this somehow reminds me of the games, when people play the computer games, and immediately it just resonated to something I was going through in my life. this kind of idea about games, and I was like, wow, this could be a very fun, kind of serious but fun song, and that was where it started, and then we just kept on writing. And I think this song was one of those that really flew pretty quickly. The lyrics, the dynamic of the song, and the parts, they just came together pretty quick.
The second single is Underestimate Me. What is the story behind that one?
Oh yeah, this one definitely was a little bit more heavy. Let's see, how it started. Probably also, yeah, this song definitely started with a guitar riff idea, that's for sure. Yeah, I remember I had this feeling of this song. I wanted to have this kind of like enticing melody lines, and at the same time very like straightforward or in your face kind of chorus. But it also, I think, this song developed through kind of emotional intensity. Yeah, I felt like I personally was just able to express some feelings I had, how I felt in the world, how I felt in the life. And a lot of times I think going through the journey, you experience this feeling like you're underestimated, or you have to fight through a lot of things, to get where you want. And yeah, but musically definitely was the guitar riffs, the powerful guitar riffs, and just my melodical thinking on those riffs.
Have you performed the new songs live yet from this album?
Yes, we actually just had a very special gig. We are part of a festival, Fête de la Musique in Berlin, and we performed the games and Underestimate Me for the first time, and it was really, really great. We felt like the audience really got the energy we were bringing.
Speaking of festivals and club shows too, first of all, do you have a favorite club to perform in Berlin?
So we are having a release concert on August 1 in Wild at Heart. It's quite like a little bit has this old rock bar vibe, and many bands play there. And I think it's also very quite oldish rock bar. I would say that's probably one of my favorites here. I don't know, somehow I like the sound, I like the atmosphere. I would say that Wild at Heart probably right now is my favorite.
And you said you just played a festival. So do you prefer festival performances or club gigs?
Well, I think it really depends on the situation. Like, I really felt like festivals are more like for people that don't necessarily, like these kind of festivals, don't necessarily listen to rock, but they can still like connect with you. And I feel like our band is quite there, that we can connect with people that didn't even listen to rock before, or metal or stuff like that. But it's hard to say. Like, I really, really love this previous gig because people are really living it. So for us, I think we like both. But I think there's special intimacy when it's like the people that really choose to go to your gig, and you are in that kind of smaller type of rock bar atmosphere. And I think the connection is just maybe a lot of times just more intimate, I would say. That's what I like about those kind of gigs.
Alise, what does success mean to you, creatively or commercially?
Yeah, I mean, this about success, I feel like since the day one, before I even had a rock band, before I even knew what I'm gonna do, I knew that my success would be that people could hear what I have to say, would hear my music, my creativeness, anywhere, like on the radio, on internationally. So I think my success is I have achieved what I wanted in a way that people are able to hear my music, what I create, now what we create with Máximo, throughout the world. And yeah, that's my success. Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you heard one of your songs on the radio there?
Yes, actually, I think I remember. I think it was after we released, no, before we released Awake. I don't know exactly which song was it, but I think it was a small radio, and I had an interview on the 1st of January of like, I think it was 2000, I don't remember, maybe 2 years ago or something. Yeah, I do remember the moment of actually having the radios play us first time. Yeah. But yeah, it was a little bit like it's hard to remember exactly the first time.
Who are some of
Yeah.
your musical influences?
My musical influences are so diverse because, as I said, I was growing up in choir music. So I was always around like this Latvian music or just classical, like, these kind of church choir type of things. And then later on, I was listening, since I was a kid, I listened to Eminem, Britney Spears, like everything, whatever was there that catch my attention. And later on, when I think I was a teenager, it was the time that I really started to feel like I like rock. I like this kind of, I don't know, grungy alternative rock. Like I like Nirvana. Um, I like also like the new metal stuff, like Limp Bizkit at the time. One O Apes was, I think, the first rock band with the female vocals that I really enjoyed listening to. Yeah, that would be, and many different, of course, like Red Hot Chili Peppers and stuff like this. And yeah, but my now I have bands I listen to more like a POD. I recently was to Nine Inch Nail concert, so I really kind of discovered them more. I wasn't really listening to them before, so yeah, I keep discovering music, I would say. But I like the progressive, a little bit grungy, that type of music with some meaning. Yeah, it's important for me that there is like a meaning in the lyrics and in the music itself.
I know the songs on an album are like your children. Okay. What track on this
Yeah.
album, or two, are you especially proud of and why?
Oh, yeah. As I mentioned before, that the songs really took time. I'm like sitting down. The songs took time to create because we really paid attention to all the details and everything. So I feel like we grew so close with each song. But if I choose a song, if I think about a song, maybe it was Oblivious because there's a song called Oblivious, and actually wrote it with piano. And this is the only song that was written all through the way, like most of the way, just with piano, and vocals. And for me, this song was born in a moment when I felt really down, and I feel like this was the song that I really wrote in that moment of being a little bit in despair, on the edge, and being able to create that kind of song. I feel like that was really what, first of all, music means to me. It's kind of like taking me in a better place, always, and the music I listen to. So I guess I'm proud of just creating this song.
And Alise, if you weren't in music, what would you be doing?
Oh, that's a um, interesting question. Wow. Actually, now my life, after I have the band, my life turned into music all through the way. I teach music now, and
Right.
oh my God, I don't know. The funny thing, I really, apart from doing music, in France, I worked a bit as in like cafe, in all that kind of stuff. Like I would probably just want to work somewhere that I can interact with people, like cafes or like catering or stuff like this. I assume that, but yeah, I didn't have like a backup plan. I would say that.
She's Alise Elme, and the band is Rising Alma. Their sophomore album, Cracking the Moment, is out now. And they're all over Instagram too. The singles Underestimate Me and Games, first two singles off that album. Last question, Alise, any touring plans for the rest of the year?
Right now, we have a concert plan or release concert on 1st of August. So we are looking forward to that next. Right now, we haven't put a tour together, but I think we are looking forward to set up a little tour somewhere in Germany in the upcoming months,
All
hopefully.
right.
So yeah, but we try to play here in Berlin as much as we can now. So yeah.
All right. So if you're in Germany later this summer, look out for Rising Alma. Check them out on social, all the streaming platforms too. You can check out their music, YouTube, Spotify. And again, the new album is Cracking the Moment. Alise, thank you so much for joining me here on the Metal Queens podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was really great to answer these questions.
Thank you. And I'm Steve Richards. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Thanks for watching the Metal Queens podcast.